Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat Thom to all the brothers, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Shem Shah to all the sisters. I is K Minnesota with the Lashawan Qadash class, otherwise known as the language class. All right, today, of course, once again, every Friday is the language class. We are going to go over a few things. All right, something just to get the people that are new in the truth and people that are older in the truth, what I mean, as far as like, spiritually, um, just to give them a reality check, so to speak, right? A reality check, so to speak, when it comes to the Hebrew, all right? So now, some brothers and sisters don't know the whole salute. Some brothers and sisters don't know how to say certain words in Hebrew. Like, I'm using examples, right? And now, what I want to do is I want to show, like every once in a while, I like to go back to the original Hebrew classes, because till this day there are brothers and sisters who have complications with the Hebrew, in the sense of how to salute somebody, how to salute so a brother saluting another brother, a sister saluting another sister, a brother and sister, or a sister and a brother saluting each other. So we have to, every once in a while, touch on the foundation or the fundamentals of the Hebrew. There's so many fundamentals when it comes to the Hebrew, but we are just going to give it to you piece by piece, because once again, this is a class, so there's no rush. All right, we are going to be doing these classes, every brotherhood class, every law class, every scripture breakdown class, every Hebrew class, any other additional class up until Yahushua returns. So the time that Yahushua is not here or has not returned, it's right that we take our time with learning our culture. But when I say that, right, what I'm truly saying is, don't take too long. Don't take all day. Like use today, as the opportunity to be in class. Use the opportunity right now to better your life, because ain't no telling what's going to happen in the future for you. Tomorrow, you know how they say tomorrow's not promised, right? It's not. You could be alive today and then your life is just gone tomorrow. And now, when I say gone, I mean in many different cases. But when it comes to Hebrew, man, learn your culture. You learn the ways of America for all your life. You're probably in your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s. You're probably a teenager at this point. You're probably in your 20s. And you're now just figuring out that you are the chosen people of the Most High. If you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, so like, you better get so-called African American, Latino, or North American Indian, you're probably just finding out that you have a heritage, you have your own language, you have a culture that you could call your own, and it's not from your oppressor. And when I say oppressor, you know who I'm talking about. The one who rules this earth, the ones that's always the president, your supervisors, your managers, your co-workers. All right? So that should be self-explanatory. Now, when it comes to this Bible, everything is very important in this Bible. And just understand that so-called Black, Latino, Native Indians, we have our own culture. We have our own everything. But because of the brainwashing, or all the lies, I should say, from our oppressor, all the captivity that we have been through, all the hell that we've been through, it has plagued our minds to the fact that we don't look at each other as family. And we are going to speak about family in this Lashawan Qadash. So if you are watching, make sure that you put your name in the chat, all right, sign in, and also too, just listen for a moment. You listen to the Christian pastors, you listen to your mother, your father, You listen to your grandparents, all these people who don't have the answers to help you in life. So what you should do is listen to somebody who's going to prove something to you. And if you feel like, if you believe and feel as if this person or that person that you may be watching is not telling you the truth, speak on it, be vocal. But in the meantime, in the ISUPK, which is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, we give you nothing but the truth. All right? And we are not prideful. If there's something that we do not know, we will get that answer for you in order for you to know. All right? Otherwise, other people would try to, play you, lie to you, things of that sort. No, we are not liars in ISUPK. All right? So, first things first, we always get into the alphabet. And that's the very first thing. In order to understand the Lashawan Qadash, which is the holy tongue, the ancient Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew, you have to know how to pronounce it in order to follow along. All right, just like how you learn any other language, you got to know the alphabet of that language in order how to piece the words together and how to pronunciate it, and also how to write it out and how to speak it as well. So all that goes into play. It goes hand in hand. All right, so for those brothers and sisters that are following, once again, check in the chat. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right. If you want to share it to any other social media, go ahead and do so. If you believe that a brother and sister or a family member or friend should hear this, go ahead and share it to them. Put it in a chat, whether it be on Messenger, messages, whatever website or social media. Go ahead and do so. All right. Once again, this is a language class, and a lot of English majors don't even know the ancient Hebrew. Okay, and I'll get into that in the future. All right, because that's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings, and there's historical facts to prove that the so-called people today, no matter what race you are, that is in Esau. When I say Esau, I will press to the white people and their colleges, in their institutions. Even those English majors don't even know this text of the ancient Hebrew. They study the Yiddish. The so-called Jews, right? The Jewish, which are white people, right? Jewish, not the real Jews at all. Like yay, as in Kanye, then tell you no lie. The Jewish is trying to act like the real Jew, which is so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't follow the Bible correctly at all. But so-called, the chosen people of the Most High, they definitely serve the Bible in a great way. If you are in the ISUPK, because the ISUPK has the truth. We have the answers to every problem, the solution to every problem that you may have. And if you don't believe it, just join the school and see for yourself. All right? All right, moving on. Salaki. I know I talked for a little bit, but I'm just trying to get straight to the point. All right, so let's get it. So I mentioned how we are going to start off. We are going to start off with the alphabet. Okay? And if you don't know the alphabet and you're very new to the class, no sweat. We are still going to spell it out. Don't worry about it, all right? All right, let me see. Give me 1 second here. So what you're seeing on the board is symbols, okay? Symbols or otherwise letters. It's going to be letters more than anything because this is the alphabet. But to most people, it's going to be symbols. But it's really letters, all right? So, imagine the ancient Hebrew, this being the A, right? The A and this being the Z. Because in Hebrew, everything goes from right to left. Not left to right. In Esau's world, in America, you have left to right. So it's going to be A, B, C, D, right? But really, in ancient Hebrew, it's completely different and opposite because we have our own language as so-called Black, Latinos, and North American Indians, right? So you got so-called A, right? I'm just using it as an example. A, B, C, D, right? You know what I mean? Versus the other way around. So everything is right to left when it comes to the Hebrew. So read it backwards, if that makes sense. Okay? All right. Let me see here. All right, so once again, this is the ancient Hebrew Paleo language, all right? This language only belongs to the so-called Black, Hispanic, Black Latinos and North American Indians. That's it. That's who it belongs to. So let's go over it. You got ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. Now, if you just heard me go over that and you don't understand what I just said, no sweat. I'm gonna write down the board for you. Okay? And let me see here. Right here, I'm gonna write it underneath, all right? Matter of fact, I write it a little bit above for the first row. So okay? Let's see here real quick. Write it a little bit bigger. That's gonna be It's gonna be ba. Ba, ga. It's gonna be da. Ha. This is wa. Za. Ha. That's ta, right? Ta. Ya. Ka. La. Ma. Na. Sa. I. Ha. Za. Qua. Ra. Sha. And lastly, tha. All right. All right. So. All right. So. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, tha. So this is the alphabet for the ancient Hebrew, all right? And if you can't see anything, just let me know, all right? I know this is going to be like a little bit of a glare against the whiteboard, But once again, I'm trying to show you how it is. All right. All right. So once again, hopefully you can see it. It's clear as day. All right. You got ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, mana, sa, I. Ha, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, tha. Okay? That's what you have. Now, if you see the glare right here around this area right here, ta, it's going to be T-A. T as in Tom, A as in Apple. All right? Same thing with, let me see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay? All right, now let me go ahead and erase it, and let's go ahead and get into everything else, all right? Bear with me. All right, so we are going to go into common used words as far as the Hebrew, all right? All right, so common used words in Hebrew. That's what we are going to go over, okay? So I want y'all to follow along. So right at the top. All right. Common used words, all right, as far as the Hebrew, okay? Give me 1 second here. All right, let's get into it. And when you see a little space in between the words, right? Or it's like you see a space in between the letters of the alphabet when concerning the Hebrew, that means that these are separate words, all right? They are individually their own word. And also, too, not only are we going to get into the Hebrew, but also the Assyrian. We have left off the Assyrian for quite some time, and so we must get back into that. That is all. I mean, that is somewhat important, but the Hebrew I focus on most important because that has to deal with Israel. The Assyrian can come in handy. That's really what it's used for. It can come in handy. Otherwise, the Assyrian's not directly the Israelites' language, but at the same time, the other nations that are like in Israel and in the Middle East and things of that sort, that's what they read, and that's what they go off of. So the Assyrian can come in handy, and it's good to know, right? But at the same time, the ancient Paleo Hebrew is your direct language, all right? So, let's keep going. So really, anything that I write on the board and anything that I break down and explain, just write it down. And if you have any questions, just ask your questions in the chat. Otherwise, you can always contact us on social media. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. IHK Minnesota, otherwise known Cowards, Minnesota. So at the bottom is going to be the Syrian for the Hebrew underneath, right? Okay, and I will explain that a little bit more. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. All right, so again, once again, if you got any questions or concerns, ask it in the chat. Also, too, pay your tithes. Passover's coming up April 1st. Get ready for that. Now, once again, so at the top, when it comes to ancient Hebrew, right, you have what is called connectors, right? As a matter of fact, I'm just going to erase the bottom real quick and give it more space. So that way it's not confusing. Because it might be confusing to most people, right? So this is one word by itself, right? And it has a connector. This is also a connector, although this letter is by itself, which is a hint that is by itself, but it's still a connector. Whether it looks like this or looks like that, all right? So this is a whole word by itself. This is another word by itself, all right? Now, once again, everything is right to left, not left to right. So look at what this is in Hebrew. Know what the Hebrew letters are saying. If it's connected, it's spelling out something. If this is by itself, it's spelling itself out just by itself. If this is connected, you have to put it two to two together, but something drops off at the end. We spoke about this for about a year or two. Once again, if you don't know, it's no sweat. We are always going to go over it, all right? All right, so let's put the Syrian at the bottom. Again, this time I'm just going to space it out. Just spacing it out underneath just a little bit. All right, here we go. That should be enough space. So as you know, the Assyrian doesn't have connectors at all, okay? Yeah, the Assyrian doesn't have connectors, only the ancient Hebrew does. All right, so let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. So we have right here already, which is you got the ma and the ha. The ma and the ha is connected together. Okay? So ma is M-A and ha is H-A. But towards the end of the word, something drops off. It's going to be the H for the no, I'm sorry. It's going to be the A that drops off for the ha. So what's going to happen? It's going to be M. So it's going to be the ma and the ha connected, but the A drops off for the ha. So it's ma. All right? Next, you got the qua, right? You got the qua by itself, so it's Q-A, qua. And then you have the ra and the ha that is connected together. So that gives you R-A, which is the ra, and then towards the end of the word is the ha, but the H stays and the A is eliminated. So you got makara. That's what you have. Okay? You got makara. All right? Makara. So you have makara. Makara. All right? Now you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? No sweat. I'm gonna give you these concordance. So if you want to find out what a Hebrew word really means, the definition of it, where it comes from, the precepts that it derives from, all you really got to do is go to concordance. There are concordance now in 2022 where you can have it on your phone, which means a Bible app. You get a Bible app and it has a search engine, but not just a certain search engine, but a search engine to where you can look up multiple things. Once again, the definition, the history of it, what precepts are entitled to it. Like for example, when you look up the word God, God is all over the Bible. Now, God is in many different contexts as well, so you got to be careful, because God can be a human being in the sense of the power and authority, or actual, the Most High, our power, our God, the authority and the power that He has over His creation, which is us as humans. Elohim, or Allah, not Allah as in the Muslim God, or the Islam God, but more like AH, which is and Allah, right? Like Allah, or otherwise Elohim, which is power, authority, God, judge, angel, messenger, so on and so forth. Okay? Because, like, for example, you got brothers whose name is Rapa Ya'ala, which means healing angel. You got brothers like Quna Ya'ala, which is zealous angel. All right? You got brothers like Zayan Ya'ala, which is a weapon angel. Like, those are just many examples, okay? So, with that being said, so we got, once again, Ma Kura, okay? And I'm going to give it to y'all what that means. And with the common used words, we are going to pretty much do a Q&A, right? So a question and an answer, otherwise a question and a response, so to speak. Once again, because these are common used words or otherwise terms where we actually talk like this. So actually, I'm not going to give too much away, okay? Like the common thing, like the common things that you would say in English, you would pretty much translate it into Hebrew, and I will explain that more deeper. Just stay tuned. Just stay where you at. All right. Get you a little popcorn or a little snacks, and just stay in tune. So we got Ma Korah. All right. So Ma by itself means what? What, right? And I'm going to put a little parentheses for S, because that's very important for later. Korah, on the other hand, means happening. When you look up the concordance of these both words, you will see that this is accurate and very much correct. Okay. 1 second. Most High in Christ. Okay, Most High in Christ. The person that just joined the chat on YouTube, I see you definitely know some Hebrew. Hey, Most High in Christ. Okay. Yeah, Most High in Christ. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I see somebody knows Hebrew around here. All right. No sweat. Okay. All right. Moving on now. And if y'all can't see the actual the green on the board, just go ahead and let me know. Just let me know about that. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So, all right, for ma, this is where you want to find it at. So, Blue Letter Bible Dictionary. Otherwise, any concordance that you may have. So, a hashtag sign, a pound sign. You want to type in H4100. Okay. That's where you're going to find this, the Blue Letter Bible, or any other concordance that you may have on your phone or a laptop, social device. It doesn't matter. For the word Korah, right? Type in pound sign H7136. Okay? Now, the word is Ma Korah. What does this mean? That's the question. What does this mean? Okay? What does this mean? All right. For the person that's in the chat right now, what city and state are you from? I just want to know real quick. Yeah, most of the Christ. Yeah, I say that Hebrew pretty strong. All right, so let me see here. All right, so a thing that's on the board right now. This is pretty much a question. Ma Korah, right? And the question that it's asking is this right here. It's pretty much asking two things, right? Like, what's up, or what's happening? What's happening? You feel me? Okay. Excuse me, as far as my writing, I write a little fast, Salakia. Otherwise, yeah. So what it's saying is pretty much like what's happening, what's going on. Okay. That's the first part. Okay. What's up? What's happening? So that's the question. Now, how would you respond is what we are going to get into next. And once again, a lot of the words that we are going to be using today is just very simple, self-explanatory. It's not hard. It's not super advanced. It's really at a beginner level. Very soon we will get to the intermediate, hard stuff later. Okay. Okay, that's just so Most High in Christ. And so you was born and raised in Israel. So what's your nationality? As far as Or your father and your mother? Like, what's their, ethnicity? If you don't mind me asking. All right, moving on. Let's keep it going. And once again, if it's spaced apart, just understand, right, that it's two different words by itself. And underneath is going to be the Assyrian. And the Assyrian has no connectors whatsoever. All right. All right, so okay, all right, so underneath, right? All right. Just blocking that off so we know that there's a difference, right? So this is the second one. This is the and the na. The and the na are connected together. So the is AH in general, right? So the is connected to the na though, right? So you're going to get AN. So the H is going to drop off from the A. No, I'm just like the H is going to drop off from the and then as far as the na, the A is going to drop off from the na. So you get AN instead of this right here. Nah, right? So that's what you should. This is incorrect. The top part is very correct. So the H drops off and the A drops off from the and the na. So you get un, correct? So let me erase that. So you got un, right? Because it's connected. And then you got the ya, which is by itself, which is singular and sounds by itself, which means you just write it out how the alphabet is. So since the ya is not connected to anything, you spell the whole letter out. So ya, ya, anya. I'm going to get into what anya means later in a second, right? Now we have ta, which is ta. Okay, ta, ta. Then we got the wa and the ba that's connected together. The wa and the ba is connected together, which gives you W A B. Now ba has an A after it, but it's towards the end of the word, so the A actually cancels out, and you're left with just the letter B. Tawab. Anya tawab. Now, what does anya tawab mean? What does anya tawab mean? Let's get into it. Anya means I'm, or otherwise I am, so to speak. So I'm or I am. I'm or I am, right? Tawab means good. Good. Okay? So the first part is a question. Ma kara. What's happening? Or what's up? Same thing, no different. Now the response, hold on one second. Let me see. Mm. Okay, so I hear what you're saying, right? But my question is to you, um, okay, what ethnicity is your father? Is he is he so-called black, so-called like so-called African American? Is he is he African, Nigerian, uh, Chinese, Asian, white, East Indian? Like just like what is the premise of your ethnicity? But I'm asking for your father more than anything for a reason. But what is your parents? So you may live in Israel. Yes, I definitely understand that. Or your family's from Israel. But what are they? Because Arabs, East Indian, the people with the dot on their forehead, they live in Israel too. Many people live in Israel, just like many diversity races live in the U.S. Outside of the U.S., you got black, white, Asian, Hispanic. You got Africans and all different types of places all over the earth besides America. So my question is to you: what is your father and your mother? Better yet, I got a better question for you. What is your father? So what is your grandfather on your dad's side? Is he a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian person from the West Indies, from the South, just anything like that? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Otherwise, hey, Shalom, Yahweh, Bashim, Hashab, Barakatah, to my brother Kawan Allah. How you doing, Warrior? Hey, Warrior, by the way, I better see you tomorrow, right? Because we got some major things going on. We got the Sabbath service tomorrow for those that are watching. And we also have the Feast of Dedication, which is the Feast of Hanukkah tomorrow as well, all right? So don't forget about that, okay? All right. All right. Move forward, okay? Okay. All right, so Anya Tawab, right? I am Tawab, good, right? So, in a nutshell, your response is, I'm good. And that's how a lot of Israelites speak, all right? That's how a lot of Israelites speak. They say, hey, I'm good. I'm Tawab. I'm straight. You feel me? You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, what's up? What's happening? Like, how you doing? And it's like, Anya Tawab, I'm good. I tell the brothers all the time, they're like, oh, I've been good, Adawan. So it's like, Anya Tawab Adawan. You know what I mean? I'm good, Adawan. I'm good, sir. Okay, you're like, it's nothing. So that's how they pretty much, respond. So in the Hebrew, I mean, we say all this in the English all the time. How you doing? How you been? Oh, I've been good. Well, how do you say it in the Hebrew? So if I ask you what's up, what's happening, it's ma kara. And then you will respond anya tawa. Because anya means I, tawa means good. So I or I am good. That's what that means. It's very simple, self-explanatory. Okay? All right. We're going to move on to one more thing. Give me a second here. Yeah, I'm going to add one more thing into it. And, yeah, give me 1 second here. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, so let's say that you want to respond differently, but still using this same format. And when I say format, meaning this stage right here, I'm not going to erase this yet. I'm going to erase it later on, right? But let's say that I wanted to add something to this, to change the answer. Instead of you saying I'm good, right? Let's change the answer a little bit. So I'm just going to insert this right here real quick. Just follow along, right? Also, too, if you missed the beginning of the class, go ahead and watch this later. It will be posted once we end the actual broadcast. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to insert some right here towards the bottom, and y'all just catch it real quick. All right. All right. So I just inserted another word in here in between anya and tawab. Okay. Can someone tell me what this is right here? This letter right here, the first one. Give me the first one and give me the second one. Okay. Okay, so are you saying that your father is Spanish, Greek, German, Polish, and French? Is that what you're saying? As brothers and sisters are going ahead and trying to figure out what the first and the second letter of the Hebrew is, I'm just going to answer this question. So yeah. So you're saying Spanish, Greek, German, and Polish, and French. Is that what you're saying? So if that is truly your father, what is your mother? As far as ethnicity and nationality. All right, so for the brothers and sisters that's online, what is the first letter and the second letter? The first one. So at the bottom is going to be the Syrian, right? If you don't know the Syrian as much, don't pay attention to it. But what is this in Hebrew? The Hebrew is at the top, the Assyrian is at the bottom. So what is the Hebrew? What is this right here? This L shape. What is that? What is this four-looking shape? These are letters in the ancient Hebrew, right? So what is it? What is it saying? Look at the alphabet, okay? The Lashawan Qadash alphabet. Look at that. Look at it directly, and you will know what these two are saying. I'm gonna give y'all one more minute. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna have to answer for y'all. But y'all should know better than that. We've been going over this for years, for a good while now. I'll give y'all like 40 seconds. Mm, not a lot. Nope. That's not it. I appreciate you trying, William. Okay. All right. So let me see something. All right. So I see you put it in the Hebrew, right? I see that you put it in the Hebrew. Um, yeah, I see that you put it in the Hebrew, but how do you spell it out in English? That's really what I want to know. How do you spell it out in English? I'll give you this. How do you spell it out in English? As far and also too, what does it mean by definition in English as well? I need somebody to answer that question real quick. I'm gonna give y'all a minute. Going once, going twice. All right. Come on now. I know somebody knows something. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get into it. Okay. All right. Okay. I see someone said no. And by the way, let me ask: are you a man or a woman? All right. Sorry about that. The stream had cut off for a little bit. But no, my question was, if my question was, are you a male or female? So the person that's commenting on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate your compliment as far as the Hebrew, because the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's where the Hebrew belongs to. So anyway, let's keep it going. All right. So everything right here, the common used words is going to be a question and a response, or otherwise a question and an answer. So Q&A, right? So the first question is ma kara, which ma is what. You could find it in a coordinate, hashtag or pound sign, letter H 4100 for ma. Ma kara, right? Now, kara, which means happening. Pound sign or hashtag, the letter H 7136 is where you can find in Blue Letter Bible or any concordance that you may have on your laptop, phone, any social device that you may have. Now, to the second part, this is the question. Ma kara, which is what's happening or what's up. That's a question that you may ask somebody. What's happening? What's going on? How you doing? How you feeling? You know what I mean? That's how Black and Hispanic people talk. You know what I mean? How you feeling? How you doing? What's going on? What's up? You know what I mean? So that's how we speak. Okay? And the response to that is this. Anya Tawab. So I'm Tawab, which means I'm good. Okay? So like Anya Tawab, which means I'm good. So I'm or I am good. Now, we put something in the middle just to change up the response, just to make it opposite. So you have right here, which is, let me see right here. In the middle, in order to change the response as an example, right? You have what is called the la and the ra. Oh, my bad. You know what? You know what? That's my fault. I get the ra and the mixed up sometimes. So my bad. I'm so sorry for that. Yep, my bad. That's how it really should look. Okay. All right. So the la and the So it's by itself, right? Which is, you got the la and you got the They're both singular. They sound exactly how they should be spelled. The la and the La. La is how we pronounce it. So if someone asks you a question like, hey, Makara, what's happening? Or, what's up? And the female is asking for a reason. And you say, Anya La'a Tawab, which means what? I'm not good. Because what does La'a mean? La'a simply means, it means no or not. No or not. So in this sense, it's going to be Anya La'a Tawab, which is, Anya La'a Tawab, which is saying no or not, meaning Anya, I'm not, Tawab, which is good. I'm not good. I'm not feeling it today. I'm probably under the weather. That's just a response. Okay? That's what it's, talking about. So no or not. Okay? That's what that's talking about. And most likely in a proper term, it's going to be right here. Not. Anya la'a tawab. I'm not good. I'm not good. And these are examples, all right? Because these are the words that we use all the time in ISUK. You're going to hear somebody say, what, which is ma. You're going to hear somebody say anya, which is I. You're going to hear somebody say tawab, which is good. And you're going to hear a lot of people say la'a, which is no or not. So it's like a brother. Did you take care of that order that I gave you yesterday? Either the question is, either the response is Khan, I don't want Khan, which means, yes, sir, yes, or otherwise, sir, yes, sir. Now the flip